In this aid, we will voice our own and market's viewpoint on BTT future while examining Bittorent cost estimate for 2021 and then some. If it's not too much trouble, remember that you ought to believe this and some other forecast tentatively, since foreseeing anything is a difficult errand, not to mention foreseeing the eventual fate of a novel, profoundly unpredictable monetary resource like BTT. Presently, how about we head into it? Before we dig profound into the Bittorent value expectation and answer questions in the event that Bittorent is a wise venture or not, for what reason will BTT succeed or come up short, or for what reason will BTT value rise or drop, we should rapidly toss a look at what is Bittorent and its to-date history. Bittorent introduction. It's been some time since we saw a token have the market in a manner BTT did. The publicity made by Justin Sun, Bittorent and bussnies putting their names behind the venture eventually prompted the thing's whole eco selling out in only 15 minutes, acquiring $7.2 million simultaneously. BTT token is imagined, and currently understood, as your normal TRC10 token, a Tron-based standard which permits Bittorent clients to offer their administrations in return for said tokens. This standard is lower than the TRC20, which has underlying brilliant agreement abilities. The token has a complete inventory of 990 billion units, which will be distinct into more modest additions for extra liquidity, albeit one considers the amount greater liquidity you really want when you have very nearly a trillion tokens. BTT's primary object is to boost Bittorent convention clients to give framework administrations like document cultivating and facilitating as a trade-off for the token. Our BTT token value expectation for 2022. BTT is one of the tasks that has high speculative worth, meaning it rapidly incorporates publicity and stands out of unsophisticated novices into crypto space. Hence, BTT and comparable tokens in all actuality do well in buyer markets. Nonetheless, when the bear market follows, these sorts of ventures are first to see capital trip into more secure and greater tasks and stable coins. This leaves newbies with weighty sacks of useless tokens and, surprisingly, heavier packs of opium that gets mixed by the venture chiefs and their intermediaries, fooling them into purchasing the plunge and unloading significantly more tokens on them. BTT additionally had sprays of confounding cost activity where it outperformed Bitcoin and was among top gainers in the entire market. This simply demonstrates the market is as yet wasteful in removing the useless, shill and advertising ventures, copycats and make easy money rascals. BTT basically looks at every one of the cases of a terrible task, clumsy group, feeble reasonable plan and poor mechanical execution, moved by tricksters and spammers, taking advantage of newbies, reproducing action, paying off their direction into trades and media. The reality it actually can possibly attract enormous number of dupable dealers just fills in as an update how eagerness beats reason multiple times out 10. It is quite significant that this doesn't imply that this or some other comparative task won't see a fleeting siphon or even a few such occasions. Simply the opposite. These undertakings are ideal ground for whale controls as there actually seem to have some worth, so a siphon generally develops the desire for anguished holders that their sweetheart venture is at last going for the moon. In this way, assuming you're here to boast and focus on it, wait for a minute or two, the cost takeoff is in all probability simply one more siphon and dump which will rake in boatloads of cash to the generally rich whales and leave you in the residue with a pack of coins that are even less worth than previously. Long-haul BTT Value Forecast 2025 to 2030, 2040. 1 cent. Thus, more than 95% of effective ecos and digital currency activities will fizzle and their financial backers will lose cash. The other 5% of tasks will turn into the new Apple, Google or Alibaba in a crypto industry. Will BTT be among those 5%? Profoundly dicey. BTT token makers trust that the commitment of monetary prizes will make more individuals seed the deluges they download. The entire speculation proposal for BTT is unconvincing. A great many people who download deluges do as such through openly accessible multitudes. These individuals basically don't need to think often about their transfer, download proportions and thusly don't have an impetus to seed more. Moreover, Tron's blockchain essentially wouldn't have the option to deal with the degrees of throughput that accompany a client base that BitTorrent has, around 100 million clients. Additionally, the torrenting scene, the one local area that ought to be humming about this task, doesn't appear to be keen on BTT by any stretch of the imagination. Torrenting discussions make scarcely any notices of the undertaking, and most experienced individuals from these networks will let you know that they love the Bittorrent convention, and yet loathe the organization behind it, because of a background marked by misinformed and practically malignant way of behaving. The interest generally is by all accounts coming from the digital currency world, which recommends that there aren't numerous basics for BTT to rest on. The vast majority who are advancing this token are intently attached to the digital money scene and are considered as powerhouses more than whatever else. That being said, we need to think about the contribution of Justin Sun and Changpeng Zhou, of Binance notoriety, in this whole venture. Every one of this summarized implies a certain something. BTT could survive 2 or 3 coordinated and, for a standard broker, totally eccentric siphons. However, most of time will be dinky sideways exchanging with little volume and no huge premium from the market. What will BTT be worth in 5 years? The cost of BTT in 5 years could lie around 1 cent. What BitTorrent will be worth in 2030? Our determining model sees BitTorrent coming to $0 in 2030. What BitTorrent will be worth in 2040? Our anticipating model sees BitTorrent coming to $0 in 2040. Will BitTorrent supplant/outperform/overwhelm Bitcoin? No, BitTorrent won't supplant or overwhelm BTC. Might BitTorrent at any point reach 10 cents? No, our expectation model sees no opportunities for BitTorrent to reach 10 cents in the short or midterm period. Could BitTorrent at any point reach $1? No, our expectation model sees no opportunities for BitTorrent to reach $1 in the short or midterm period. Might BitTorrent at any point reach $10? No, our expectation model sees no opportunities for BitTorrent to reach $10 in the short or midterm period. Might BitTorrent at any point reach $100? No. Our expectation model sees no opportunities for BitTorrent to reach $100 in the short or midterm period. How high will BitTorrent go? Our determining model sees BitTorrent cost crashing and dropping to approach 0 in a removed future. Is BitTorrent worth purchasing? We don't see a brilliant future for BitTorrent. It merits purchasing just as a transient hypothesis with a decent leave methodology. BitTorrent is definitely not a decent long-haul hold. Is BitTorrent a wise speculation? BitTorrent is